What's up, y'all? Hope you're having a good day. Hope you're having a good week as always. I'm here to talk about a story today. It's a matrix breaking story, so we're going to wait a couple minutes for everyone to get into the stream, but we will break the matrix with today's stream because I'm actually calling out right wingers. I know if I have any progressive or socialist or communist or liberal or centrist or libertarian, whatever you want to call yourselves, maybe this will be your favorite episode. You're like, yay, finally Anomaly's calling out the right wing. Because I don't like liars. I don't like exaggerators. I don't like deceivers. I don't like deception. And I just don't like blatant falsities being spread around by an echo chamber. So I want to talk about a few things, but the main, whoa, I just hit a thing. The main theme of the day is Ilhan Omar and Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez derangement syndrome has now hit the right wing, where they dislike these people so much that they're willing to freak out, lie about anything, promote them, and use the same strategies that the left wing does with Trump. And it doesn't make sense one way or the other. And I'll preface this. We're going to play a little music, and then we're going to get to the stream as everyone gets in. I just want to say, and I'll say this a few times throughout the stream just because it's true, I'm not a fan of Ilhan Omar. I'm not a fan of Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. They both thoroughly annoy me, policy-wise, personality-wise. I really not a fan, but the truth is the truth. So even if AOC is watching this or Ilhan Omar, baby girl number one, baby girl number two, maybe we could see eye to eye on something. So let's get it. Media control the mind and censor everything that ever goes against them. Why they pin you as a victim? So you always stay dependent. Then they tell you they gon' raise the taxes, help you out with everything you give them. Yeah, the homeless getting bigger. Sell some weapons out in Yemen. I ain't getting into all the specifics, but you best believe I ain't tripping. Listen, all these rappers complain about taxes, but don't realize who tax them. Under control of the mind, got the culture hijacked and the people moving backwards. Kanye be trying to tell you the truth, but the critics still slashed him. Whatever happened to Prince, Dick Gregory, Dr. Sebi, Michael Jackson? I like Trump, I like Trump. I don't really give a fuck. All y'all suck. I'm too real to play it safe. You fake it front. I'm the plug. Y'all just follow like some sheep do what they want. I don't jump. I'm just saying how I feel like Donald Trump. I like Trump. I like Trump. I don't really give a fuck. All y'all suck. I'm too real to play it safe. You fake it front. I'm the plug. Y'all just follow like some sheep do what they want. I don't jump. I'm just saying how I feel like Donald Trump. I like Trump. Be blunt and real. I do what I feel. Smoke a blunt and chill. Make 100 mil. Beat the system while the matrix numbers peel. People hate, but I just make another deal. I be blunt and real. I do what I feel. Smoke a blunt and chill. Make 100 mil. Beat the system while the matrix numbers peel. People hate, but they just. All these nice politicians lie. Steal your money, stack it like Dubai. Got you in your feelings to the ceiling, but they dealing with the villains and the killings to the side. I'm about to teach you the truth. They ain't gonna teach it to you. They gonna try to pay $100K for college just to end up in the prison. They should sign your boy to Rockefeller. I can preach and beat a acapella. Reaching deaf and blind like Helen Keller. Tell them, look at who it was who sent out Luther King a letter. All right, enough. Let's relax, guys. Come on, you guys are getting insane. So, story I want to talk about today is Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez and Ilhan Omar, specifically Ilhan Omar, because she's all over the news, but derangement syndrome. I always say to the left wing and Trump haters, I don't care if you don't like Trump. I don't care if you didn't vote for Trump. I don't care if you want to oppose Trump, but don't be deranged. Don't lie. Don't be so desperate to take Trump down that you're willing to do and say anything. It's like, we'll murder babies in the womb, 9 months old. Well, it's like, at what point you are the problem? You know what I'm saying? It's like, you don't have to like Trump. But when he's saying things that make sense and you're saying things that don't make sense, that is what we call here Trump derangement syndrome. And it is a very widespread mental illness that is affecting millions, and it's awful. So it's starting to come to the right wing, and I already see it in my comment sections. People can't stop talking about AOC, and I'm not even a fan of hers. But let's start with Ilhan Omar, and then we'll talk about the failing AOC strategy and how it completely backfired this last week. Even though people were right about things, it's you got to
You got to learn these things, or you don't, but we're going to talk about them. So let's start with the new news about Ilhan Omar. First, I'm gonna start with a quote of mine, and then I'm gonna tell you what two of my Jewish followers said, because we're gonna get into some deep diving stuff here. Not really, honestly. What I'm about to say, basic common sense that people just don't want to acknowledge. So, I sent out a tweet last night, and I said, I like Jewish people. I think there are legitimately people who are racist and anti-Semitic. But it's really annoying watching Jewish influencers that I like nonstop call everything anti-Semitic, even when it's clearly not. It's a bad look, like the left wing calling everything racist. So, I obviously like Jewish people. I don't hate any particular group in total, but I have a lot of Jewish and Israeli followers, actually. So I'm saying I like Jewish people. And I think there are legitimately people that are racist and anti-Semitic. But when you throw that term around willy-nilly, it's a bad, bad look. It looks foolish, it looks stupid, and it makes you look very dishonest and deceptive. And in many ways, if you're Jewish, those are stereotypes that you may be trying to get rid of. So why would you do it? And I'm going to read you what two of my Jewish followers said to that post, and then we're going to move on to Ilhan Omar, the thing that no one wants to talk about. So I won't give their names, but someone said, I say this all the time and I'm a Jew. So it was a Jewish person to agree with me. And someone else said, I'm Jewish, but even I could see that criticism towards Jews have merit. People who use the term anti-Semitic only do so to divert attention away from the actual criticism. If we don't face/fix our problems, we are doomed to repeat history. This is truly a brilliant comment. I love when my followers are very brilliant. He said, I'm Jewish, but even I can see that the criticism towards Jews have merit. People who use the term anti-Semitic only do so to divert attention away from the actual criticism. And this is the important part. This goes for the Jewish community. This goes for the Christian community. This goes for the white, black, Asian, Hispanic, American, European, Western world, like whatever group you want to subdivide in. This line is very, very crucial to everybody. Listen again. If we don't face and fix our problems, we are doomed to repeat history. I'm not saying this thing because I don't like Jews, or I don't like Muslims, or I don't like Christians, or I don't like white people, or I don't like black people, or I don't like Hispanics. I like everybody. Good people come in all race, religions, and genders, and bad people come in all race, religions, and genders. And I take heat for saying this sometimes. And I'm not saying which is better or worse. We'll have discussions about those sometimes, but it's just true. And people don't want to hear it sometimes. So if we don't face and fix our problems, we're doomed to repeat history. So let's move on to the Ilhan Omar controversy, which is absolutely ridiculous. Not because of, I'm not saying she's a great, amazing person. Honestly, I don't trust her. I don't like pretty much any of her policies. I don't like her whole persona, like her little thing that she's doing with AOC. I'm not telling you this because I'm trying to defend who she is and what she does and what she stands up for. I'm me. She's her. We're very, very, very different. But I'm telling you this because I love you. And if you lie to yourself, you're only going to bring bad things upon yourself. So the whole media is calling Ilhan Omar anti-Semitic over two tweets. And I'm just letting you know, it's mostly right-wing people doing this. They're lying. I don't know any other way to say it. And I don't really care how much backlash or criticism I'm going to get. The right wing is lying about this. And there's before I get into it, the reason this is so important to understand is because there is a lot of stuff that you can hone in on that is very alarming. Charlie Kirk did something that actually made sense, and I'm going to talk about that a little later. But when you call everything racist, you defend real racists. When you call everything sexist and xenophobic and anti-Semitic, what you're doing is making yourself look like an idiot, making yourself look like a fool, making yourself look very untrustworthy. You're repelling pretty much anybody that's honest with themselves. And you're also covering up the true anti-Semites and racists and sexists and xenophobes. So don't do it. And I don't understand White people don't want to live. They're like, no, you don't understand. Oh, we'll get into it. It's going to be like an hour stream. Someone said this show's racist. I don't know if you're joking or not, but you're going to stay. All right. So Glenn Greenwald, a progressive gay journalist, whatever title you want to give him, journalist, he said, GOP leader Kevin McCarthy threatens punishment for Ilhan MN and Rashida Tlaib over their criticisms of Israel. It's stunning how much time U.S. political leaders spend. So he's talking about, Glenn Greenwald's talking about GOP leader Kevin McCarthy threatening punishment for Ilhan and Rashid over their criticisms of Israel. And here's the thing. I personally get criticized sometimes from the far right and the far left and people in between. They say to me, you're not critical enough of Israel. I've literally been called a Zionist myself. They call me a Zionist because I don't share the beliefs that people want me to share about Israel. So I've been called a Zionist. I'm just letting you know. I'm trying to let people know I'm not anti-Semitic. Some people think I'm too Semitic or too Semitic supporting. So Ilhan Omar retweeted that tweet and said, it's all about the Benjamin's baby. And then everyone said, that's so anti-Semitic. That's not anti-Semitic. Criticisms of Israel is not anti-Semitic. We'll get into the definition. Technically, it may be according to the very fishy definition, but you can criticize Saudi Arabia. You can criticize America. You can criticize Canada. You can criticize South America. You can criticize Pakistan. You can criticize Islam in America. Why wouldn't you be able to criticize Israel? What? That's anti-Semitic now? And she said it's all about the Benjamin's baby. What? That's anti-Semitic to you? Get a grip. So here's another tweet that they said was even more anti-Semitic, and it's not even remotely anti-Semitic. And I'm not saying she's not, or I don't know her. I'm sure, honestly, if you want to know what I think about what she thinks, I would say listen to her, but honestly, I don't think she really loves this country that much. She probably doesn't like Jews very much or white people, honestly. But I'm not saying for sure. I don't know her. I don't like to mischaracterize. But I don't disagree that she doesn't actually like America and the Western world and Israel and white people and Jews. She probably doesn't that much. But why would you lie to achieve an agenda of truth? If you have to lie to achieve an agenda of truth, I don't like it. So it's like hone in on what she actually says. We're going to get into how people can't do that later. And when they do it, their whole matrix falls apart. But Ilhan Omar, baby girl, let's chat. Maybe we'll do an interview. We'll shock the world. But Bada Ungyar Sagan said, would love to know what Ilhan thinks is paying American. Oh, wait, this is great, because honestly, what Ilhan Omar said here is 100% right. And it's embarrassing. Honestly, this is why I don't call myself conservative or right wing, because I was like, if that's conservative and that's right wing, I'm not that. I'm libertarianist, matrix breaker. Call me a matrix breaker. Don't call me a conservative who wants, obviously, libertarian values. I'm not a progressive communist, but Bada Ungyar Sargon, sorry, I butchered that, but whatever. Would love to know what Ilhan thinks is paying American politicians to be pro-Israel. Though I think I can guess, bad form, Congresswoman. That is the second anti-Semitic trope you've retweeted. And she responds to that and says, AIPAC, AIPAC, exclamation point. Spot the lie. She's not lying. I mean, I don't understand. Are people lying to themselves? Are they dishonest? Are they caught in the right-wing echo chamber that they don't know what AIPAC is? We're going to get into it in a second. But this woman's trying to be like sarcastic and snooty, and is like, would love to know what she thinks is paying American politicians to be pro-Israel. And she said, AIPAC. So what is AIPAC that people think it's so anti-Semitic to bring up? Let's see. I'm going to go right to Wikipedia. The American Israel Public Affairs Committee is a lobbying group that advocates pro-Israel policies to the Congress and the executive branch of the United States. That's literally what it is. That's literally what it is. It is a lobbyist group for Israel. Like, even if you love Israel, I'm sure I have Israeli and Jewish supporters watching this right now. You know that. Even if you love Israel and you want Israel to stay and you hate whatever else, or you're super Jewish, that is what AIPAC is. Like it's literally an Israeli lobbyist group. So how, and I don't misconstrue what I'm saying. I don't like Ilhan Omar's policies. I honestly don't like her politics. I don't like her little AOC, like little personality, like we're the women, progressive women who are going to make America communist. I'm not standing up for anything she said or done. I'm just letting you know she's telling the truth here. And it's really creepy that people can't face that truth like that. And this is part of a bigger thing. I'm going to read some headlines around it because she apologized. And Ilhan Omar, Washington Examiner, Ilhan Omar apologizes for anti-Semitic comments, but says AIPAC problematic. Omar, I unequivocally apologize after the backlash over new Israel tweets. What? Like, you can't say AIPAC and you have to apologize? Interesting. I don't like when the left wing complains about, they say foreign influence in politics, Trump's working with Russia. And then they let China buy full page ads in Idaho. Then they let China buy, maybe influence Reddit. Saudi Arabia is all over Twitter and Uber or maybe it's Lyft, all over the tech companies and our, transportation companies. So does the left wing really care about foreign influence in politics? No. The left wing does not care about foreign influence in politics. They care about narrative. And if you're left wing or you're right wing and you care about foreign influence in politics, why would you not at least consider or take a look at AIPAC? The American Israel Public Affairs Committee is a lobbying group that advocates pro-Israel policies to the Congress and the executive branch of the United States. Straight off Wikipedia. So all I'm saying is, me personally, I like Israelis. I like Jewish people. It's a very obviously complex debate, religious-wise, culturally. I stay out of it because it's so ugly and multi-pronged. But I'll speak the truth to power when I have to. When I have to stand up for Jews in Israel, I do so. And people say that I'm, what do they call me? Oh, they call me a Zionist. I'm not Jewish. I've never been to Israel. I just look at patterns in the media and I look at patterns in politicians and I'm like, you know what? This is how I feel at this time. And I let people know. I am in no way, shape, or form anti-Semitic. I am in no way, shape, or form anti-Israel. I'm really not. But if you call yourself a patriot, if you call yourself a right-wing nationalist or whatever these right-wing people call themselves, if you call themselves a conservative and you're all about American first, and you have a problem when Ilhan Omar says AIPAC and it's all about the Benjamins, which is totally true. I mean, who knows how much money that they're influencing? And if you care about foreign influence, then why would you let that country influence our politics? And, we don't have a wall. It's what, $4 billion? We don't have a wall, but we give how much, like we give them free deals where it's like, oh, we give them $40 billion worth of stuff and we give them free stuff basically. So it clearly has some sort of influence. I mean, you could also look up how many politicians are dual citizens or, lobbying on behalf. It's something to consider. Hold on. I'm going to read what Heather said. I made a lot of spelling errors. You and Trump are her heroes. You are an inspiration. Please consider meeting us or her. We're in LA. Also, we're Jews. See? That's love. Let me look it up because I have a lot of Jewish and Israeli supporters. I'm not hating on Jews, but it's like, hold on. Trump, please, any way you would be willing to meet my 11-year-old daughter. You inspire her every day. I'll tell you if I do a meet and greet or something, but I currently I'm not really doing public events or meet and greets. But thank you. I appreciate the support. And I like what my friend, because I like just to let you know how not anti-Semitic I am. I'm going to quote my buddy again, who said, I'm Jewish, but even I can see that criticisms towards Jews have merit. Why would Jews be above criticism? That honestly, I'm going to get into Farrakhan later. That's a whole different beast. And I know just talking about him makes people have Farrakhan derangement syndrome. But I did on Twitter earlier, and I was like, give me a time when Farrakhan said something that he hates all Jews. People literally can't do it. All they can do is frame things out of context. He says he doesn't like some. And then they're like, oh, you don't like all of us? And he's like, he never said that. And if he did, I've been waiting. People sent me like 10 videos, and they're lying about all of them. Benjamin Hasid said, I'm Jewish, but even I could see that criticisms toward Jews have merits. People who use the term anti-Semitic only do so to divert attention away from the actual criticism. If we don't fix our problems, we are doomed to repeat history. And people say to me, I'm going to get into more stuff. People say to me, anomaly. No, someone said what? He called them cockroaches. See, that's a total lie. I don't even want to get into the Farrakhan stuff. He didn't say that. That's a total lie. So if you're a liar, you can lie. If you want to misframe things out of context and then complain when the media does it to Trump, it's the same thing as them saying Trump said all Mexicans are rapists. He never said that. They do the same thing to Farrakhan. And you can lie to yourself if you want, but we don't lie here. Anyway, if we don't fix our problems, we are doomed to repeat history. This is a line that every culture should understand. And people justify to me, someone said on Twitter, anomaly, you don't understand what Jews have gone through in America. I am not denying your struggle. I'm not denying that at all. But that's no different than if a black activist comes to me and says, anomaly, you don't understand how it is growing up black in America. I'm not saying that I do, but what I'm telling you is if you lie to yourself and you repeat mistakes and you follow leaders that destroy your community, it's not going to work out for the black community. It's not going to work out for the Jewish community if you do that. Just because you have pain and emotion and you have a history doesn't mean it's a smart idea to lie to yourself. He didn't. That's a Silverback. That's a total lie. He did not call all Jews termites. That's another. It's a very easily provable lie. I'll get into that later, but don't lie. If you want to follow liars, go follow 80% of right-wing pundits. They'll lie to you all day. They'll let you get played and you'll get lied to. But it's not true. Okay, and hold on. I want to get into other stuff real quick, but KDPPX said Omar supports terrorists. Now, this is what I want. There's a lot I want to say, but Charlie Kirk had a good tweet about Ilhan Omar, and he said something that she said no on a bill. Basically, she was voting against legislation that would hurt and hinder terrorists. That's something that makes smart. That's something that makes sense to put a microscope on. Be like, did she support terrorists? If that's true, do you see what I'm saying with Trump derangement syndrome, Ilhan Omar derangement syndrome, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez derangement syndrome? It's not that you can't criticize them. It's make actual sense when you criticize them. Don't lie about it. And Silverback, I don't want to get into this stuff, but I will. Louis Farrakhan, and I know this is going to hurt everyone's feelings, but I don't care. He never called all Jewish people termites. He said, I'm not anti-Semitic. I'm not anti-Semite. I'm anti-termite. In the phrase, he said, I'm not anti-Semite. I'm not an anti-Semite. I'm not an anti-Semite. He said it in the phrase, I'm anti-termite. That's like saying, I'm not anti-Christian. I hate evil Christians. I'm not anti-Islam. I hate evil Islam. I'm not anti-white. I don't like white devils. It's the same thing. It's like getting mad at what Roseanne said. What she said was a play on words that people didn't understand, so they said it's racist. When Trump said he doesn't want rapists and criminals at the border, they didn't understand what he was saying, so he said all criminals. Louis Farrakhan did not call all Jews termites. It's a total bold-faced lie. He said, I'm not an anti-Semite. And he makes this clear almost every time. I'm sorry if that bothers you. If you want to listen to liars, go somewhere else and you can lie to yourself. If you don't like the truth, you're not going to like my channel. You're just not. All right, let's move on. So let's look up the dictionary term of Semite. So what does Semite mean? Because I want to get to words and labels really interest me. Semite is a member of any peoples who speak or spoke a Semitic language, including in particular the Jews and Arabs. So anti so a Semite means Jews and Arabs, which is interesting because somehow the Jewish community completely hijacked the word and now it only applies to them. So, and I'm not saying they specifically did it, but society branded it that way, and it's not even what the word Semite means. So the whole word anti-Semitic literally doesn't actually even make sense at all, because technically they could use that if you're anti, Saudi Arabia. Saudi Arabians could be like, whoa, don't criticize bin Talal. Like, even though he owns half your companies and has not owns them, but has major influence, it's like, oh, don't criticize Saudi Arabia. That's anti-Semitic. So it could, all right. So what does anti-Semitic mean according to Merriam-Webster dictionary, pretty standard dictionary? Relating to or characterized by anti-Semitism, feeling or showing hostility towards or discrimination against Jews as a cultural, racial, or ethnic group. So somehow the word anti-Semitic doesn't actually correlate with actual Semitism, which is interesting. Let's see what people are saying. M. Zudi Jassar, he tweeted out, as an American Muslim, I plead that this is only a good first step to be followed by a swift sanction against Ilhan MN for bigotry unfit for the U.S. Congress with removal from all committees. Ignoring this would bring the bigotry of low expectations to a new low for Muslims. So as an American Muslim says, get rid of Ilhan. And why did he say that? Because she said AIPAC, and it's all about the Benjamins. So apparently saying it's all about money, and AIPAC is a foreign influential lobbying group that lobbies for a foreign country, remove her from all regions. Me, someone who I, support Jews and Israelis, this doesn't make me more on your side. I'm not saying Jews and Israelis because you have nothing to do with these people. It's not your fault. But I'm saying this whole like lobbying from the right wing and even CNN, like it's one thing that it's bipartisan because they have a lot of control over both parties. So they're like, whoa, you need to step down for criticizing AIPAC. Are we the United States of America? Or are we the United States of Israel? And you guys could figure that out for yourself. I have no problem with other countries. I have no problem with race, religion, or gender. But if you can't criticize you can think about this. You can say anything you want about Trump. You could lie about him. You can literally threaten him on Twitter and they won't do anything. You can punch a punching bag of Trump. You could lie about him on SNL. You could scream. You can be crazy Madonna and say you want to bomb the White House like a psycho. Nothing happens. If you say the word AIPAC, 5 letters, now they're trying to put sanctions on you like you're a country. Come on, guys. You really don't get what's going on here? It's ridiculous. It's so obvious. And it's just weird to me because I lean right wing. It's very obvious. Why do I lean right wing? Taxes. I don't like taxes. I don't like big government. I like freedom. I like the First and Second Amendment. It's a no-brainer. The left wing has gone full psycho. The left wing lies about almost everything. The left wing wants to make government bigger. They want total control of the healthcare industry, which would be a disaster. They're now murdering 9-month-old babies, and they don't think that, or 9-month almost being born babies, and they don't see anything problematic with that at all. Believe all women, unless of course the woman is going against a Democrat, and then we're not, or it's Joy Behar, the guy from Virginia. So it's like the left wing has pretty much nothing for me. Progressives are right about some wars, and honestly, they have a set of balls, and they, can criticize Israel and AIPAC. Although I don't agree with progressives, I don't agree with all their criticisms. I'm just saying they're the only ones that seem to get this element of it. But I don't like their full Israel stance personally. But you can do anything to Trump, but you can't even criticize a foreign lobbyist group. And I'm not here to just blame Jews, obviously, or Israel or AIPAC. It's not just that. It's like, we don't talk about China ever. China is running ramp. Why do they not talk about China? You're not allowed to criticize AIPAC. You're not allowed to criticize the money that is literally, that's their job. It's like there's nothing dishonest about it. There's nothing like, it's literally what they do. It's like in the definition of their name, it's their job. It's like if I clean toilets for a living and then I'm cleaning a toilet and you're like, hey, you're cleaning a toilet. I'm like, whoa, you need sanctions on you because you told everyone what I'm doing. And it's, even though it's public domain, it's ridiculous. See what else other people are saying. Ryan Saavedra from the Daily Wire. Good guy. You know, I don't know him personally, but he does a lot of great work. He said, Muslims are calling for anti-Semitic Rep Ilhan Omar to be removed from all her committee assignments for hateful bigotry. Even Dave Rubin came out of the shadows to say, whoa, that's anti-Semitic. Whoa, don't say that. There's nothing anti-Semitic about saying the word AIPAC, or it's all about the Benjamins. And this is what annoys me about the right wing. They're so easy to manipulate too. I'm starting to think that the cognitive dissonance is that strong on the right. And I'm not even. There's some people, just to be honest with you guys, because that's what we do here. There's a lot of people on the far right and the mid-level right that are very anti-Israel. There are many people on the left, a lot of people on the left. That's why I don't understand why Jewish people are heavily Democrat, because I feel like they get more support on the right wing. And I believe most Hasidic Jews, like very religious Jews, are actually conservative. But the far left really hates Israel. There is growing hate for Israel, not only in the world, but in our country. And I'm not doubting that there are people that literally are anti-Semitic. I know, because I talk about pros and cons, and there are some people who hate all people based on their religion or their race, and it's not right. I'm telling you this because if you don't face the truth and you don't start becoming more authentic, and you don't, and this is not just for Jewish people or Israel, this is for like conservatives as well, you're gonna get played. Bad things are gonna happen. It's this, I'm about to get into it with Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez syndrome too. I'm not a fan of Ilhan Omar, not even remotely. Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez is cringy, but either you want to win or you want to lose. Either you want to make amends and make smart decisions that gain your trust and respect, or you want to grow distrust and grow disrespect and lie and join, the establishment liars who, manipulate people and take advantage of our country. I think our country is it's not just Israel. Like, obviously Israel, they're the only country that could have a lobbying group. Imagine if Saudi Arabia had a lobbying group, although they do pretty much. Like, we're being taken over by Israel, Saudi Arabia, China, probably Russia psychologically. Like, we're like a doormat. We're too soft. And it's like, I just want to get the discussion flowing, because for some reason, Israel and China, you're not allowed to talk about, like, ever. And I'm not anti-Semitic in the slightest, and I'm not anti-Asian. Do Asians even have a word for anti-Asian? Not even in the slightest. But if you can't talk about it or communicate it or criticize it or even mention it, something's profoundly wrong. And if the right wing really wants to be red-pilled and truthers, especially considering, the whole Candice Owens debacle where she said something. I didn't see the full context clip, but from what I heard, it definitely sounded like a misspeak. I was like, what? Like, what she said about Hitler made no sense. But like I said, just to be honest, I didn't hear the full context. But I heard her quote and I was like, ugh, that's not a good look. And conservatives are so quick to run to her side and say, oh, it's okay. Most of them, not all of you guys and in general, but people are so quick to be like, hey, it's okay. They took you out of context. No, that's okay. So it's like, you're okay with Candice making a slip up or a video out of context. Like I said, I didn't see the full context about Hitler. She's allowed to do that. But then Ilhan Omar's not allowed to say AIPAC. I mean, come on, guys. Like, you're not fooling anybody here. JG, hello, level, said this guy talking's not too smart. You can leave at any time. Literally just click X and you're gone forever, or I'll ban you. But I don't mind. You can criticize me. I'm not AIPAC, but maybe I'm bothering you because your cognitive dissonance is so strong that you didn't want to hear this. Like maybe you want to go listen to a right winger who just says the same five talking. Well, black unemployment is at an all-time low. Hispanic unemployment's at an all-time low. Guys, look how Republican I am. I'm GOP, guys. Look. What? Come on, guys. We're stopping the war in North Korea. I talk about that stuff, but this is a matrix breaking episode. And I'm sorry that I get it. I understand people don't want to face the truth. I understand people don't want to consider, at least have consideration. Charles Wan said, "We need to stand with Israel. Everything will be destroyed before they fall, no doubt." We could stand with Israel and have criticisms of AIPAC as well. We could stand with Israel and criticize Jewish people like every other religion and race gets criticized. I'm not saying to abandon Israel, but when we can't build a wall and we can't criticize AIPAC, yet you can criticize our president and they get, hundreds of billions of dollars in aid and weapons, something's profoundly wrong. And that's a whole other debate. But that's where I differ from the far right and far left, obviously, but I'm not as anti-Israel as the far right and far left because the more I look into it, I think, and honestly, that's why I talk about Farrakhan a lot, because I don't think Farrakhan hates all Jews. I think he doesn't like evil Jews. And I think a lot of people don't like evil people of all races, religions, and genders. And I'm convinced that there's Jewish people that don't even want Israel. I see. I'll tell you. Here's a red pill for me that really woke me up to being a lot more privy towards Israel, like as far as supporting them more. You know that they called Netanyahu's son anti-Semitic. I'll bring up the article. He did a George Soros meme, and they called the son of Israel's anti-Semitic. So that made me realize for calling out George Soros. So me personally, you could have your own decision interpretation, but I think I'm not convinced Netanyahu's a bad guy, and I'm convinced that there are Jewish people who are even trying to crush Israel, just like they're trying to crush America. But it's not just Jewish people. There's good and bad of all. But I think the plot goes deeper than you even realize. So I'm not anti-Israel. I support them in some ways. In other ways, it's like, what are you doing? But just like America, like if I criticize Israel, like why are you doing this and that? I criticize America, the drug war, failure, the food industry, horrible, the war industry, horrible. Am I anti-American because I do that? No, I like our president. I like our country. So criticizing another country and their people is there's nothing wrong with it. Anti-Semitic, hold on. Netanyahu son. You ready for this? This is interesting. So this is Washington Post. Keep in mind, guys, I like people are like, you don't understand. I do more research than most, and I actually like Netanyahu and his son, but if you don't, that's fine. This is from the Washington Post, aka Democracy Dies in Darkness. Anti-Semitism doesn't bother Benjamin Netanyahu if it comes from his political allies. So they're trying to call Netanyahu anti-Semitic. He leads Israel. And the media, the same media that crushes you, the same media that lies about everything you love, they're trying to say that the leader of Israel is anti-Semitic. This is what I'm talking about, guys. The word means nothing if you lie about it all the time. I'm going to read it in a second. I'm going to read a super chat first. Enemy Media said, hold on. He said, I love your honesty about AIPAC, Israel, world. Jewry is the root of everything. It goes back to the Bible. Much love, brother. Please follow me on Instagram and YouTube. I'll check it out. Thank you, brother. But yes, a lot of this stuff is biblical. And like my brother Benjamin Hasid said, he said, if we don't fix our problems, we're doomed to repeat history. Same with all these communities where they're like, we're so mad at history. It's like, yeah, then why would you want to make mistakes and have something bad happen to you? I criticize white people and Christians. I'm like, yo, you guys got to wake up. The other day I was criticizing Christians, not like religiously, but like strategically. I'm like, guys, there's problems going on and we're not addressing them. I'm not hating. Charles Wan said, and then I'm going to read the article. Israel will never fall without at least destroying the Arab world. They will never give up is all I'm saying. I'm not saying they're getting destroyed. I'm not saying they're going to give up. I know that you're not saying I'm saying that, but life is going to be good. You know, the truth shall win and the lies shall fall. I'm not worried about, I'm not worried about them. I'm not worried about America either. I'm just saying what I'm saying. All right. So this is from the Daily Beast. Netanyahu's son under fire for anti-Semitic Facebook post. So why are they calling? Thank you, Vincent. Why are they calling his son anti-Semitic? Can you be anti-Semitic and lead Israel? I wouldn't think so. But you have to understand, just like Farrakhan says, or just like, I'm not saying Ilhan Omar, because I'm not saying that they're both right about everything, but it's like there are Jewish people who don't have Jews and Israelis in their hearts. You know, there's bad Jews. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's son has come under fire for posting a meme to Facebook full of anti-Semitic themes, local media reports. The image posted Friday by Yair Netanyahu and captioned "food chain" appears to show investor George Soros controlling the world and manipulating Netanyahu's family's enemies. Soros is shown dangling the globe before a large reptilian creature, which in turn is dangling an alchemical symbol in front of what appears to be an Illuminati figure. The meme also features Prime Minister Ehud Barak, anti-Netanyahu activist Eldad Yaniv, and Mani Naftali, a former caretaker of Netanyahu's family, who has implicated Sarah Netanyahu in an ongoing criminal case. You get it, guys? So when Netanyahu's son, the leader of Israel's son, the most Jewiest Jew of all Jews, he literally is the son of Netanyahu, who leads Israel, they called him anti-Semitic because he criticized George Soros and other Jews. Do you get it? Do you get what I'm saying now, guys? The plot is way more twisted than people even realize. That's why I'm not like, I don't have a problem with Israel. I don't understand the history of Israel. I understand it goes thousands of years, 50, 60 years. I'm an American citizen. Personally, I'm not Jewish. I can't fight all of the world's wars, and that's one that I truly don't understand historically or even in the last 100 years. So I mostly stay out of it. It's not because I'm a Zionist. That's not true. It's not because I'm anti-Semitic. That's literally not true. So is the other one. But I'm an American citizen. I'm Italian, Puerto Rican, Polish, Czechoslovakian, whatever. But I care about America, at least, and also stopping the wars. That's a priority. But I think changing yourself is the key to changing the world. So I say that on a personal level. It's the same reason why I'm not that critical of everyone else. Of course, I say things here or there, but you notice I'm never that hateful. Even when I criticize someone, I'm very respectful. It's because that's how I would like to be treated. So I treat others the way I want to be treated. And I understand I have growing to do. I have healing to do. I have learning to do. I have, expanding to do. So that's my goal. That's my primary focus, is changing myself to change the world. And take it on a full scale. California politicians won't shut up, but they don't actually fix their own cities and country. I mean, cities and states. They're not changing yourself to change the world. And the next step, which I also do, is the country. I'm focused on America. So that's why I barely talk about Israel ever or any of this stuff. I'm focused on our country. I don't care what other people are doing per se. I'll help people who need to be helped, sure. But our focus should be on us. And when you have AIPAC lobbying for Israel and they're getting billions of dollars in weapons and we can't even get a wall or do anything in our own country, and Ilhan Omar comes along and criticizes them and they say, whoa, take it back. No, don't take it back. Say it again. AIPAC. What are they doing? You can ask questions and criticize and critique. I don't know what they're doing specifically. And honestly, I haven't been interested enough in it to really research. I'm not really that concerned about it, to be honest. But what I am saying is I'm pro free speech. And if you're pro free speech and you're conservative, the last thing you should be stopping is someone for criticizing a foreign lobbyist group in America. It's ridiculous. And now I'm going to get on. Someone said Owens on Infowars. Now that's cool. I got invited on Infowars. Pretty exciting. Pretty cool. So I'm going to be on Infowars in an hour and a half at 3 p.m. PST, 5 p.m. Central Time, I believe 6 p.m. Eastern Time. It's 5 p.m. Central Time, so you guys can do the math. I'll be on Infowars with Harrison Smith, I think. I'll be on for a full hour. Pretty cool. And the people who say, I love Infowars, that's cool. So people say, oh, I don't like Infowars, don't go on. No, I'm going to talk to everyone and anyone that I can that I want to. So, tell Fox they should have me on. Tell CNN they should have me on. I'll talk to anybody who's trying to have a real conversation. I'd love to talk to Van Jones. That would be great. So I'm excited to be on Infowars. That's pretty cool. Charles Wan said, amen. We can't truly help anyone if we can't help ourselves. Exactly. And I'm going to read my friend's quote one more time too, because sometimes it sounds better. Like, I understand why Candice is effective, because it's like, oh, it sounds better sometimes coming from a black woman than it would from someone who's white. That's why people are like, oh, let's let her say it. That's why. Anyway, my friend who's Jewish, well, not my friend, to be honest, just someone on Twitter who I don't really know. But he said, I'm Jewish, but I could even see that criticism towards Jews have merit. People who use the term anti-Semitic only do so to divert attention away from actual criticism. If we don't face and fix our problems, we are doomed to repeat history. This goes for the whites. This goes for the Jews. This goes for the blacks. This goes for the Asians. This goes for the Hispanics. This goes for the Americans. This goes for the Western civilization. This goes for everyone. Just because you're emotional and you have a hard history doesn't mean you should make mistakes. It's a horrible, horrible idea. And sometimes that gets me really thinking. It gets me thinking to what came first, the chicken or the egg, in a sense, because we're always taught that these people bad, these people good, these people bad, these people good, these people innocent victims, these people horrible oppressors. And in some cases, obviously, yeah, there's terrible, horrible people. But I'm starting to think, what came first, the chicken or the egg? Did that person start oppressing those people for no reason? Or did those people make mistakes and then those people make mistakes? That's why changing yourself is so important. When you're focused on everyone else and you're not willing to admit the truth to your own people, you're going to get in a situation that gets sticky. And I'm not even I know people are going to misconstrue this, say, oh, is he talking about this? No, I'm literally talking about every situation in history. And I'll give you an example with my own people. This way people don't get offended. If Western civilization crumbles, if the white Western European American world comes to an end and gets destroyed, it's our own fault, because we made mistakes for decades, lied to ourselves, listened to fake media, bought into the lie. I'm not going to blame Islam or China or Jews, or it's our own fault. And I'm starting to think that with other cultures and histories too. And you can't say that, but it's like, dude, I say the same thing I'm very critical of the media. I'm very critical of politicians, but I'm getting to the point now, watching how the right wing's acting, it's really not their fault. Don't blame the Jews. Don't blame the Arabs. Don't blame Saudi Arabia. Don't blame the whites. Don't blame the blacks. Don't blame the media. Don't blame the politicians. Blame yourself for buying it. Who's buying all this stuff? Who's watching these television shows? Who's buying all their products? Who's putting them into office? Who's supporting them? Who's funding them? If you buy it, they will sell it. And people on the left and the right are buying it. So I'm not even mad at AIPAC. If people buy it, why not? I'm not mad at Ilhan Omar. People are buying it. I'm not mad at Trump. People are buying it. If you buy it, they're going to sell it. So the best way to stop the bad politicians and races and religions and whatever's, stop buying it. Get your friends and your family to stop buying it. And if you do that, and if you focus on yourself, I believe, you can believe otherwise. If you focus on yourself, I believe the world is your oyster, and at a certain point, how much money do you really need? That's why I don't complain. It's like, oh, they own the banks and stuff. Yeah, people own banks, and they're definitely probably manipulating society a bit. But America, 2019 America is one of the greatest places ever existing. If you can't do decent and have fun, it's kind of your own fault at a certain point. This is the greatest time ever. You work hard, You put in work, you make smart decisions, you're persistent, you have patience, and you take time, you can get to a certain level. I'm already starting to see it, and I'm not a hungry psycho. So I'm like, oh, I'm starting to be like, oh, I can actually do well for myself as long as social media sites don't kick me off. So I get to the point where it's like, man, if I could come from nothing, break my back and get a little bit, why should I spend so much time complaining about stuff? I mean, I don't need $10 billion. I don't want to own the banks. I just want to go on vacation for a few weeks, come back, do what I love, take a break when I want to, have fun when I want to, not be poor. It's a good time to be alive. Like I don't subscribe to all this hate from either side. So now I want to talk about Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. Oh, that's a good one. Alexandria Ocommunist. I've never seen anyone say that yet. Anyway, you can criticize her, but what the right wing's doing is just really foolish. And I'm going to give you an example because Alexandria Derangement Syndrome is pretty huge. But all right, listen to not that smart of an idea. And I heard someone, I think it was like Nuance Bro, kind of pointed it out in a good way. So he gets it a little bit, not a little bit. He gets it a lot of bit in this situation. But so the Green New Deal was a total flaming ball of trash. But you have to understand, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, when there's a flaming ball of trash, she jumps on it and she rides it to the moon. She goes past the Van Allen radio belt and everything. She gets to the moon on a pilot. So you can't play into her games. And the mistakes the right wing made were, here, I'll tell you. She put stuff on her website, right? And she deleted it off her website, and then she lied about it, and her person came on Tucker Carlson and lied about it. Like, they're lying. I'm not disagreeing with you. Like, people were gonna be like, anomaly, but she had it on her website and they lied about it. I know. I agree. I'm just saying, how do you handle it? Same thing with Ilhan or this. Like, I'm not disagreeing with you on a lot of things, but how do you handle it? So she deletes it off her website, but there's a reason that almost nobody knows that now, is because Mark Dice and a few others, who I actually like Mark Dice, but this I find it very childish and foolish, but to each their own. Mark Dice posted a fake version as a joke and was like, hey, I bet we can get her to retweet this. And she did. But the joke's actually on Mark Dice, because now when she actually did lie, it's like the boy who cried wolf, and everyone's like, look, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez lies. And she used the excuse. She's like, no, it's all these right wingers. They're posting fake versions of it. She's lying. It's not true. She did post the version on her website, but Mark Dice posted a fake version as a joke, very childish. And now she can point to that and be like, no, look, that's the fake version. You're playing right into her little flaming ball of trash trap. It's so stupid. It's really so stupid. But I don't think a lot of right wingers care, honestly. I think they're more concerned with like acting like a 15-year-old and be like, oh, libtards, ho ho, libtards, we're winning, libtards, ha 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 ha. It's like, the joke's on you, bro. Because millions of people like her Green New Deal. Millions of people believe that you did post a fake version of it because you did post a fake version of it. So it's like, why? Someone said he got her. Maybe. Why? Now we don't know. Now it's all being screwed up instead of just being able to point to the actual lie that she did. But that's just a little side note I felt about that. About other stuff, any press pretty much is good press for the most part. If you talk about somebody, you better, if you want to be effective, you want to talk about them and convince people to question them in the same breath of air, then you might be effective. If you just nonstop talk about people, it doesn't work. It's called derangement syndrome. Trump derangement syndrome helped get Trump elected. Liberals still have Trump derangement syndrome. They have no solutions. They just nonstop talk about Trump all the time. They make absolutely no sense. They're killing nine-month-old, about to be born babies, 9 month, in the womb. They're against border security, but they want drones. Like, nothing they say actually makes sense. But the joke's on them because Trump is getting bigger. He's getting more Hispanic support. He's getting more black support. He's getting, 95% Republican support. The joke's on you. You nonstop promote Trump and make no sense. Trump derangement syndrome helps Trump, and it makes you look like an idiot. I had someone call me the other day who doesn't like Trump, Democrat their entire life because of unions. They said, I'm going to vote for Trump in 2020 because they're so tired of liberal derangement syndrome liars and two-faced hypocrites who yell at other people all day. And then when it comes to them, they're like, no, I'm allowed to do it because I'm a liberal media elite. I'm telling you, it's a failed loser strategy. Moving on. Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. The right wing is like deranged. I'm not to be mean and name names because they showed me love before, but like Ben Shapiro and Daily Wire, I don't think they actually care. I think they're just trying to get revenue and clicks and shares off of Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. If I didn't know better, I would think the Daily Wire is a PR team for Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. They don't shut up about her. But I don't think they care about being specifically effective in this direction. I think they just want to stay afloat. But maybe I'm wrong. I don't want to mischaracterize people. All they do is talk about her. I'll post a meme that has nothing to do with Alex. Just listen to what I'm saying. Think about marketing. Just think about it. It's basic common sense. I post a meme that has nothing to do with Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. It has nothing to do with her. Nothing. There should be no Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez on it because I'm promoting an ideology and I'm spreading an ideology of sorts, or at least a simple message of wisdom. Her name should not be attached to it. If it was, that's free promotion. I go to the comment section, Alexandria. Every right winger is posting Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez hate memes. You're giving her free press on a message that has nothing to do with her. You're promoting her. You're giving her airtime. You're giving her reach. You're putting her name in front of thousands of people. And to be honest, it's not even that funny. It's actually, it looks like you have derangement syndrome. Like you're like, oh, make her a bartender again. It's not funny. It's not even funny. I like comedy. It's not funny. It's free promotion. It's free marketing. You're giving her free airtime and you're not even challenging her ideology in a way that makes sense. You want to know who does a good job of actually probably red pilling some people when it comes to Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez? Nuance Bro. I just named him. I might have him on my thing for a little debate, but he's kind of annoying me. I'm not saying he's annoying, but he's like, I was trying to get him hyped up. He's like, I don't get hyped up. This is how I am. I'm like, bro, we got to get you hyped up a little bit. Maybe I'll give him a Red Bull, but not a Red Bull. Those are gross. Give him like some tea. But anyway, Nuance Bro talks about Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, but he doesn't have derangement syndrome. So if a left-winger or an Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez supporter watched this video, they could be like, you know what? Yeah, he's right. But you listen to they're like, dude, look at her teeth. Look at her teeth, and she's a bartender. Yeah. Like, you think that's going to red pill an 18-year-old? Making fun of her because she's a bartender? There's nothing more relatable than the youth and Democrats than being a bartender. I mean, even to me, that's stupid. You're trying to get the middle class and left wingers and progressives and young people, and you're making fun of her because she used to be poor and a bartender, or she pretended to be poor, but she actually was like middle, high, upper class. Whatever. It's so dumb. It's so dumb. And I say this to you guys, not because I'm being mean, because I know you're not snowflakes. I know you can handle a little more oomph. That's why people are like, Anomaly, it's not all conservatives. I'm not saying it is. I just go harder on you guys because I know you're not snowflakes, and I know you get it for the most part. That's why I go harder on conservatives sometimes, not because I hate you more. It's because we agree on more. So I'm like, just get it. I know that you don't. I know that you're not NPCs. At least I hope so. There's nothing wrong with being a bartender. It's embarrassing making, you think that's, I have friends that are professional bartenders and do well. I have friends who do it for extra money. And since when was making fun of somebody's career or hustle or way to achieve money in illegal means, since when was that cool? It isn't. It's never been cool. It isn't cool. It's actually really pathetic and pretty mean. And it's very impressive. She's 29. She was a bartender. She lied about, where she grew up. I agree with that. You can call her out, but it's not cool to, oh, dude, she's so dumb that she became a really popular politician, more popular than anybody on the left and most people on the right, and she's 29 and she used to be a bartender. The joke is on you. She's 29. She used to be a bartender. She lied about her website in the Green New Deal, and she just keeps getting more popular and famous and powerful. The joke is on you. So stop promoting her on posts that have nothing to do with her. If a post, that's called derangement syndrome. You can't even look at a post that isn't about her without posting about her. It's Alexandria Ocasio derangement syndrome. If you're triggered that Ilhan Omar said 5 letters of a foreign lobbyist country that lobbies in our nation, that's called Ilhan Omar derangement syndrome. I'm not saying you can't critique them. You should. There's so much sketchy stuff that Ilhan Omar and AOC want to do politically, economically, literally. Like, I don't even like them. They're very annoying to me. But I don't have derangement syndrome. And people could watch my stream and be like, you know what? I don't agree. I'm not conservative. I'm not Republican. I'm not libertarian. I'm left-leaning, but Anomaly's not lying. It's like, spot the lie. I bet you can't, because there aren't many. And if there are, I'll correct them eventually. But I don't know what lie there was. You could find one and you can criticize me. That's fine. But spot the lie. It's like with Omar. Spot the lie in what she said. You could talk about her past, but I just don't like liars. And it doesn't look good when you have to lie about someone to achieve your agenda. It's not making me support you more. It's not making millions of people support you more. It's not helping your people, whether it be Muslims or Jews or Christians or white people or black. It doesn't help. It actually hurts you. And that's why I say this, because if you make a bunch of mistakes and then you cry victim and repeat that cycle throughout history, it's a horrible idea. It's a really, really bad idea. Someone said, hey, dude, quit the Jew hating, buddy. I can't tell if you're being joke. I'm guessing you're being sarcastic, but maybe not. Read a few comments real quick, and then I'm going to roll out. Someone said the right and the left deserve each other. You're going to get played. Like, I'm just letting you know, the left wing gets played often. They get played about science. They get played with economics. They get played socially. They get played like, the left wing is almost completely lying to themselves. Although the progressive wing, although they're communist and socialist, and I think their economics are absolutely catastrophic and horrible, they do seem to get it in a few other regions, and I appreciate that. But their economics are disgusting and horrible. And the fact that they don't care about, like, literal babies in the womb that are 9 months in the womb, are literally about to be born, getting slaughtered, and they don't seem to think that's problematic at all. Disgusting. But someone said there is no right and left. See, that's where I don't agree, because to me, the right is just, even all this criticism I've had of the right this time, the right is leagues better than the left wing. The left wing is like turning communist socialist. They want more taxes, more government control. Although I like their criticisms of, lobbyist groups and such, that's fine. Even, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez has moments where she calls out like donors, and it makes sense to me. But the right wing is clearly more lower taxes, clearly more freedom. It's clearly, it's just like way better to me. I'm just being honest. Like, I'm more libertarian at heart, so it's a no-brainer. They're not the same, but they both have cognitive dissonance in a way. They both will believe liars, and that's not good. But I don't buy into that argument, because a lot of people say, Anomaly, why do you criticize the left wing more? What, like, it's two wings of the same bird. Yes, and for a while, but Trump is totally not who they said he was. He is a matrix breaker in many ways, not always. But Yeah, like look at the legislation the left wing wants to pass. They're literally like on a path to hell. I say that and my left wing followers laugh. They're like, haha, Anomaly thinks I'm going to hell. No, I'm just saying the left wing now, progressive or, normal liberal, it is a path to hell in like almost every way. It's literally like a lie, whether it comes to border security, immigration, socially, tech company wise, censorship wise. It's hard for me to even name something left wing that actually makes sense. That's why I get excited for these streams, because I'm like, ooh, I agree with Ilhan Omar a little bit here. I agree with Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez a little bit. It's not, I almost disagree with them on everything. So I get excited when I could break the matrix and agree with them on something, or at least say it's not as bad as people are saying, because almost everything they want to do is the exact opposite of common sense, truth, wisdom, and basic safety, security, and prosperity, which is what makes America great, according to other countries. So, I mean, sorry. I know some people now, the left wing people watching are like, oh man, now I got to go watch. Someone communist who will tell me that universal health care is a good idea. It's not a good idea. You're giving you're literally crumbling the whole health industry and putting it into the hands of the federal government. I can't think of a worse idea. Just because it's all masqueraded in social justice and how much you like women and children. It's big government. It is what fascists and totalitarian leaders, it's what they would do. They would put it all in the hands of the federal government. I own it now. It's not going to get better. The VA, government-controlled healthcare, $200 billion. They don't do good work. They do terrible work. It would crush every aspect of anything that's slightly good about American medicine. We have good aspects. We have awful aspects that are worse than other countries, but don't do it. Alyssa said, thanks for another insightful stream. Loving the YouTube lives. Have a great week. Yeah. And hopefully my people from Facebook came over. I know a lot of people are like, Anomaly, we want you to stream on Facebook. I will, but this one is easier because I read like 20 things off of websites and articles. I can only do that from my computer. I can't do that from my, my couch. Read a few more questions and we'll roll out. Thank you guys. I'm going to be on Infowars in an hour. So I'm going to take a shower and, let's see. I don't think anybody got something good to say before we roll out. I like to read a few. Someone said, remember the Sarah Palin? Same thing is going to happen with AOC. Yeah, you can criticize AOC, but really just be dilated in it. Because when you talk about her nonstop, it's just like, dude, stop. And it's just weird. I don't know. I'm just like, man, the right wing, obviously we agree on way more. And I follow a lot of right wing pundits, but I'm seeing like in unison, all the right wing people I followed were lying about the Ilhan Omar tweet. And she even apologized, although it's just like, okay. But I'm just like, dude, I like these people. I respect these people. But that's like, if someone says like Bill Gates has a lot of money and Bill Gates, secured patents for hurricane weather manipulation, or like Jeff Bezos has a lot of money and he owns the Washington Post, you wouldn't be like, that's really racist. Don't say that. That's a stereotype. That's anti-white. That's anti-white. You can't. No, it's literally true. Like it's 100% literally true. And anytime something's 100% literally true, and the entire right wing is like, oh my goodness, you better retract that now or we'll put sanctions on you, you're proving her point. You're literally making her look like a genius. And I don't want you to make her look like a genius. I don't want you to give Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez money. I'm telling you this to help you. And of course, the media is even the mainstream media is agreeing with you now. It's a dumpster fire. They're so delusional and they lack self-awareness to such a crazy extent. They're failing. They're downsizing. They're losing customers. They're losing audience. Their net worth is going down. Like the mainstream media is failing. They're all going downwards in a spiral because they have a formula of total failure when it comes to truth and wisdom and knowledge and internet marketing. Like they don't know what they're doing. So they might agree with you. They're like, Anomaly, look, she retracted. Yeah, I'm sure she did. Because politicians and celebrities all they do is apologize when they don't really mean it. They don't apologize because they're actually sorry. They apologize because the media and the political elite class comes and says, if you don't apologize, we're not going to let you sit here and lie to the people and write laws. And they're like, huh, I want to lie and make a lot of money and write laws, so I better apologize even though I don't mean it. Does that bother people that I said that she apologized and not only she probably shouldn't have, but she didn't mean it? She didn't mean it. And it's like, I like the blunt truth. That's why I support other people that everyone's like, anomaly. Why do you like Trump? Why do you support them? Because they're blunt. I don't like, I'm sorry. And then like the cameras turn off. They're like, I'm not even remotely sorry. I just said that so I can keep lying. That's what you guys like. And then you're like, oh, I feel better about it now because we forced her to do something she didn't want to do. Felix said, I got a website coming. Can I get an interview? Possibly, but I know you said something about business. You could email me. Legendary.vision is my website. So if you want to talk business or you have like a pitch, you can email me. But I'm pretty busy, so make it let me see. I'll open my email real quick. First of all, I have 92 or 100 plus unread Instagram messages. I can't even possibly read them anymore. I have 103 emails, and I just checked my email a day ago. So it's nearly impossible for me to answer everybody or check everything. All right. Someone said, you need mods, sir. Seriously, there's some straight trash in here. Yeah, today I haven't really been reading too many of the comments, but I mean, I block people when I can, but I see you guys arguing. Maybe we'll get some mods, but at the end of the day, there's someone just like remove themselves. At the end of the day, people are going to say crazy stuff. Even certain people against me, I leave. Someone said, all right, you're going to get banned. Someone said, maybe not, but Anomaly doesn't understand the history of Nazi propaganda. I mean, why can't you state your case and not make an assumption or literally like characterize me in a way that's not true? How do you know I don't? What if I'm very well researched in Nazi propaganda and I know Joseph Goebbels quotes word for word and I know their exact strategies? What if that's true? Do you know that I don't know Nazi history, or are you just so triggered? Are you so triggered by the fact I told you the truth that you don't want to hear it? I'm going to read a quote again before I leave and then I'm out. I'll be on Infowars soon for an hour. By a Jew. So tell them they don't understand Nazi propaganda. I'm Jewish, but even I could see that criticism towards Jews have merit. People who use the term anti-Semitic only do so to divert attention away from the actual criticism. If we don't face and fix our problems, we're doomed to repeat history. If you don't want to face and fix your problems and then you scream and cry victim and something bad happens, oh my God, it's happening. Well, maybe you should have listened. I don't want it to happen. I don't want what happened in Germany to happen. Literally, clearly, I don't want that to happen. So I'm letting you know what can help prevent something like that from ever happening again. But if you, Anomaly, how dare you tell me the truth and make me leave my echo chamber of lies? Well, don't complain if something bad happens. It's the same thing as activists who call themselves social activists. It's like women activists, and then they support religions and cultures that don't give women their freedom. If you're women, don't come running to me when rape rates are skyrocketing, when families are not staying together, when you're literally delusional, mentally ill, you can't like function in society, and you're lobbying for millions of people to come to this country who won't treat you like Western men will. Don't come complaining to me, women, when I tried to warn you for 10 years. Same with racial activists. When you're crying about your community and I'm trying to help you, and you literally make really dumb mistakes that destroy your own families, that destroy your own culture, that destroy your mind, that get women and children killed and, displaced at rapid rates, don't come complaining to me. Well, Anomaly, you don't understand my history, so I'm going to make terrible mistakes for my people. I'm going to lie to myself, and I'm going to make bad things happen to my people, and then I'm going to still blame you. I'm telling you the truth. If I hated you, I would lie to you like the media. If I didn't like your communities, I would be alt-right or alt-left, and I'd just scream and cry about Israel and Jews all the time and black people. I don't, because I love everybody, and I understand that there's good and evil within every race, religion, and gender. There's people who will rise the ranks. There are people who won't. I'll talk about statistics, and yeah, there's differences, I think, culturally, but when I try to tell you the truth and anomaly, you don't understand. I do. You don't know you don't know how well researched I am in that stuff. Maybe you do or don't, but I probably know more stuff about it than you do. And maybe I don't. Maybe you do know more. That's fine. I'm not mad that you said that, but it's like if you can't perceive what I'm saying and it triggers you to the extent that you have to lie about what I do and don't know, it's not going to help you. It's not going to help the women's movements. It's not going to help the Jewish community in America or Israel, and it's not going to help the black community when you don't want to hear the. No, I don't want to hear that anomaly. I want to take a knee with Kaepernick and talk about the 0.001% of like what's actually going on, even though, they're working hand in hand with multi-billion-dollar corporations that don't give a shit about black people and literally work with Asian people for lower wages that wouldn't fly in the United States. I don't want to hear the 99.99% of the truth. I want to hone in on the 0.001% and act like I'm a good person. Fine. But don't come cry to me when it doesn't work out. That's all I'm going to say. God bless you. God bless America. God bless your family, and God bless the world. I appreciate you guys. I'm sorry. I will apologize if there was any really crazy stuff in the comment section. It's getting to the point now. Well, I mostly block people when they annoy me and when they like literally just nonstop kind of harass. But I see stuff all the time I don't agree with in the comment section. I see extreme stuff on both sides, and I don't know what thresholds you guys want me to ban and censor, but there's obviously a lot of people that I don't agree with. But I don't ban people who I don't agree with. I don't ban people for saying unpopular things. Honestly, I try to ban as little as possible, but I only ban people when they annoy me, which maybe I shouldn't do, but it's kind of it's my channel. So, and I do kind of think it's funny too, but also, if they're super harassing or they're really, really annoying me, but I'm going to try to like not ban as little people as possible. But I know people are like, anomaly, there's a lot of crazy stuff. Trust me, like people don't agree with half the stuff I'm saying, and then I get triggered and I start arguing with them. But it is what it is. It's entertaining to some extent. Thank you guys. God bless you guys. I'll be back, and I'll be on Infowars in like at 3 p.m. Pacific time. Do the math. I'll see you guys there.